Get excited, kids, because the House defendants are busting out their biggest Black Friday doorbuster deal yet. And guess who's signal boosting it? That's right, Webster's very own dictionary for imaginary friends, Yuri Buchanan, who's making the rounds sharing out this give, send, grift like it's a goddamn affiliate link. Use code Yuri10 to save 10% off your next donation.
Is it wrong for me to say I can't wait for these depots to start?
No.
I can't wait.
No, I can't wait either. I'm with
That's
you.
going to be great.
Hello, Earthling. Why do I sound like a leprechaun? Wrong holiday. Pilgrims and welcome back to Alexasrewm, where we are not lawyers, we are not medical professionals, and we are clearly not historians. We are just people, right? People who have opinions about all things going on in the true crime community, including the House of Defendants taking a play out of Twin Flames Universe's playbook by launching their own fundraiser over the weekend? Yes, because who needs a Jet 2 holiday when you can help out the face of Irish poverty and her clan defend their truth now that Norfolk County's tit is all dried up and closed for business? Also, I hope Testify isn't a Rage Against the Machine reference, because I'm pretty sure this is exactly the type of machine Zach De La Rocha and the band is usually referring to. But then again, butchering 90s classics appears to be quite on brand for this gaggle of buffoons.
What do you know who I am?
Join the witnesses from the Karen Reed trial on this worldwide tour with special guests featuring world-renowned blogger Sir Ian Whiffen. Over the past few years, many have asked how they can support witnesses in the John O'Keefe case. I don't think anybody's been asking that, who continue to be relentlessly harassed and defamed. Now is the time, but it wasn't 3 years ago. Okay. So I find it interesting that we have this weird yearbook from hell Instagram grid over here with John O'Keefe in the center. John O'Keefe, unfortunately, is not a live witness, and I'm fairly certain that all of these donations, probably none of it is going to go towards his niece and nephew, but yeah, let's continue to monetize off of his death that we are most likely responsible off of. Great, yeah. And is everybody getting a piece from this? Like, I guess he's not making enough money slicing up pepperoni slices for his peepaw, but in Massachusetts and across the country, in a galaxy far, far away, victims who report crimes, witnesses who come forward, and good people who simply do the right thing. Interesting phrasing considering what that has come to mean, are being harassed, defamed, threatened, and pressured into silence. Well, but here's the funny thing about the silence bit is that you guys actually haven't been all that silent. Like, what do you call that interview you did with Matt Gutman, like, ages ago? Proctor's also a witness in all of that, but, you know, he's part of the extended family, but I guess no more. We had to cut ties with him, right? Imagine stepping forward, believing justice will protect you, only to find yourself fighting for your peace, your privacy, and your safety. Oh, here's the threat. Oh my god. Arts and crafts days. Oh my god. Ken Mello. Our mission. So is this I guess we'll get to that in the vision, but is this supposed to be like an ongoing charity for witnesses in other criminal cases, or is this just specific to the McAlbert Mafia? I have questions. To protect and empower witnesses and victims of crime who face retaliation, harassment, or defamation for fulfilling their civic duty. We ensure vulnerable people are not alone when they stand up for what's right. Through advocacy, education, and collaboration, we work to promote proper protection of witnesses and their rights, because Steve Nelson said, "Stop calling the DA's office, Kerry." Yeah, where's Kerry in all of this? Where are the Roberts? Why we formed this movement, I think it's clear as day, but it's the grift that keeps on giving. The mission began during one of the most publicized trials in Massachusetts, where witnesses were relentlessly harassed simply for cooperating with investigators. Their ordeal revealed a dangerous gap in our justice system. that showed a pattern of intimidation and defamation. How many times, like, every time you see the word intimidation or defamation, if it's past 5 o'clock when you're watching this video, take a drink if you drink, or, you know, whatever. Take a bite out of something, right? That has become a weapon of defense strategy in American courts. While they're claiming that they're being defamed, they're also defaming or insinuating that Karen Reed, in my opinion, and Turtle Boy colluded at the instruction of what, Alan Jackson and David Gannetti as a defense tactic? Okay. But this movement isn't just about one case. No, no, of course. And I'm sure this is going to close down fast as soon as all of this civil stuff is done. And how much of these donations are going to be dedicated towards helping protect other witnesses? Across the nation, witness intimidation and coordinated reputation warfare has been fueled by social media, and we can't police the internet. Oh my God, Elon Musk, are you reading this? Twisting public opinion to hide the facts and defeat the truth. Well, why don't you lay out the facts though? Like, this is this is the website to lay out the facts. Did you see Justin Baldoni and what his team did? They put together a website and they put a bunch of evidence out there because they're like, hey, what Blake Lively is saying isn't true. It's just not true. So here's your opportunity. And you had all this time to speak out and to do the right thing. But all right, our vision. So this is the vision. As we continue this work, our long-term goal is to establish a foundation dedicated to rebuilding faith in justice and supporting the people who work every day to keep the system on. You don't see the ACLU clamoring to help them out. This mission will guide the creation of that foundation and will remain at the heart of everything we do. Or you're using that as a way to, well, I don't want to accuse anybody of doing wrongdoing and misappropriating funds. Stand up for the truth. Standing with the Alberts, McCabe's, and Higgins families to fight against harassment and defamation. I wonder how long Higgins is going to stay lumped in with these sad sacks. But it's so funny. Like, where are the pictures of the people, of the victims of harassment, other than this really teeny tiny grid with John O'Keefe? It's like they don't want people to know this money is going toward. Apparently, they also have a video. So let's go check out the video. Looks like a mesothelioma ad. So here they are walking into court. Isn't that Lindsay? I think it is. And then here are the O'Keefes. Look at all of them smiling. Matt McCabe. All smiling. I mean, justice for John. Yeah, that looks really intimidating. And Red Solo Cup corruption. I mean, that has nothing to do with you guys, because you were just witnesses who apparently corroborated with investigators, right? So I don't get what. And you're all smiling, so you don't look that intimidated or harassed. Oh, here's Brian Albert.
Justice for John O'Keefe. We got Brian Albert sitting in the front. Woo! Shout out to you.
Colin did it. And to be fair, it could be any Colin. How do you know it's the Colin Albert, right? They could be protesting rubber duckies and the plastic that they're using. I mean, none of them look, you know, like scared, more bored. Oh, here's Carrie Roberts. Jem McCabe. She looks happy. She's glowing. Look at this glow. Look at that smile. It's like all she's missing is the Queen's wave to her fans. I don't see how is that harassment? Chris Albert's loving it.
I'm retired.
He's so afraid. All of these people, they're so afraid. I mean, this isn't really doing a good job for a group of people who are claiming to be harassed, their lives ruined, they wouldn't be including clips in this video showing them smiling and reeling out the fact of all this attention and publicity. You know what? Because they're egomaniacs and they feed off of it. They don't care if it's positive, they don't care if it's negative. They like the attention. Chris Albert, he's still in business. He's still a Canton Select boardman. So how was his life ruined? Jen McCabe, just a normal mom. Like, she was doing vacations and stuff over the summer. She's going around flashing those pearly whites. It looked like she had a nice tan before trial 2. Like, she had a nice proper glow up. She's doing it, you know? Matt McCabe, I mean, stocky. It's still consistent. Y'all were going around flashing them pearly whites like you just found out First Watch was gonna cut your brunch bill. So this fundraiser was thrown together, I guess, over the weekend sometime by Denise Galvin, who is Miss Jagged Little Tooth's sister, whose name you might recall from Trial 2 when Kerry Roberts took the stand.
Who else was with you other than Jennifer McCabe in the house?
Her sister was there writing down the timeline for
Who's
us.
that?
Her sister, Denise.
Denise? So she was scribing the timeline as you and Jennifer McCabe were creating
She
it?
was writing it down as we were remembering things.
Right.
Somehow, by the grifting gods, they hath now managed to raise $51,305, and they've got 87 prayers, and I'm sure they're not all from supporters of theirs, but they somehow managed to raise enough to put out for a 2025 Kia Sorento, although it is BYPB&J, so sorry, Matt McCabe, on that. Now, this was raised up pretty quick. They were able to raise, I think, like $20,000 within the first 24 hours, which is pretty nuts. Maybe everybody cashed out their 401ks. Maybe some of them are collecting their Social Security early. I don't know, or somebody's got a gay rich auntie living it up in Costa Rica and she's just flinging cash left and right. Who knows? Didn't pay attention to trial. Hey, you're in a tough spot. I'm living on commune now. I'm shoveling poop. Eating it. It's to help the kid. I don't know. As entertaining as it is to roast the heck out of this fundraiser, yeah, they're allowed to do whatever they want, and that's not what I would constitute as alarm bells and news, but who they might be receiving donations from is something to talk about. And yesterday, it looks like Yuri became their #1 affiliate, or just a guy who's sharing out a link to help a couple of friends, sharing it on his Facebook page. I'm just gonna leave this here. He says, take a look and decide for yourself. Yes, because nothing screams, hey guys, I'm a totally unbiased investigator over here. Like, publicly share the Give, Send, Grift page for witnesses in the case you were helping investigate. Like, you've basically become their Avon lady. Bettero tweeted yesterday that, hey, you know, if anybody has documented proof that a taxpayer-funded public servant, cough, cough, like Bukwaki, who works for the Massachusetts State Police, who investigated and or is a witness against Karen Reed or Aidan Carney, which we know he is actively promoting a fundraiser for witnesses adverse to the above named individuals, please send me and his co-counsel, Timothy J. Bradle, copies ASAP. Thank you. So in other words, if you see something, say something. I don't know if this is the same Yuri, but it looks like this is. He said, as I post infrequently, when I do, it is usually noteworthy. So, like, way to draw attention. Like, if you wanted to get away with just sending this to people, like, you could just privately text that. Or use the Signal app. Have you not learned anything, Yuri? Signal. I can spell it. I'll write it out for you. It's an app, right? It's encrypted. The struggle, the conflict is straightforward. It is a contest between decency, justice, and order versus evil, chaos, and lunacy. Lunacy's a pretty big word, Mr. Webster. They need your support. Every donation, regardless of amount. And remember, the doctor's got a hearing coming up on the 5th. So next week, that's 10 days from now. And it seems like there hasn't been much movement from Cosgrove. No, this was posted 30 minutes ago. Cosgrove missed the deadline for his opposition to our motion to dismiss again today. He has not emailed my lawyers explaining why. So yeah, no sign or proof of life from Uncle Grandpa. I'm a little but he did have time. Oh, breaking news here. But he did have time to email Ted Daniel and tell him he wants to launch another investigation and go through more phones. For the first time, Special Prosecutor Robert Cosgrove responded directly to 25 Investigates by email, stating that any suggestion, I'm surprised it wasn't via carrier pigeon, that his ongoing investigation of Reed is an act of retribution is unfounded public relations spin. During the Reed trial, before any verdict, I filed a memorandum in another case in which I explicitly advised the court that I considered the conspiracy investigation to remain open, Cosgrove wrote. What he needs is to not be asked about this again. Yes, exactly, Samantha. And we got some news on Coccyx as well, too. Just every single week, that man just can't stay out of the headlines. So Robert Cosgrove has time to respond, folks, to one Ted Daniel, and he is a handsome devil, I'll give him that. But not to Silver Fox, Timothy J. Bradle, or Batman. But hey, who cares if Aiden Carney has rights, right? It's not like his team needs time to put together an adequate response. Unless they plan on dropping the charge, which it clearly doesn't seem like at this point, if he's proposing launching a new investigation and burning more taxpayer dollars, right? That's why they cut off the McAlbert Mafia, or excuse me, the House defendant. Anyways, if you do want to donate to some worthy causes, there are two that spring to mind for me. The fact of the matter is that you would not have heard of the Karen Reed case or found my channel if it weren't for him. And hey, look, he's got a photo of him too. Because this is where your money's going to. This is who your money's going to, not just some weird blanket, overly vague, fake foundation that you're claiming to put together. And he's raised almost his entire goal. He's what? Doing the math. $22,000, a little shy of $22,000 left. So maybe he can get there by Christmas. I have no doubt he will. You can donate here. I will link it in my show notes. If you want to help Kelsey Fitzsimmons heal, she had a hearing today, and there's a lot to unpack there, but pretty much her ex is a piece of human garbage, in my opinion. She is the North Andover police officer, shot in the chest by a fellow officer who was serving her a restraining order based on the direction, it seems like, from her porn stash ex, Justin Ali Oxenfree, and she's been in jail since her bail got unfairly revoked after she couldn't comply with the court's order for scram testing, which is just a fancy way of saying how they can test her for alcohol intake. And instead of just proposing new ways to test her so she didn't have to breathe through a court-ordered suck tube because she couldn't, because she's healing from broken ribs and such, because I don't know, she was shot in the flippin' chest. Kathy Neiman Marcus said, nah, girl, you're going back in the clink. But hey, hope those ribs heal. So if you want to donate your money, and it's a suggestion, you can do so by donating to those two worthy causes. Doesn't seem like Kelsey's going to get out in time for turkey. Maybe she'll be able to get out in time for Christmas. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.